Hey everyone, today we're going to install the Dirt Devil central vacuum system, the CV1500. It's a beautiful, nice, compact, quiet central vacuum system made specifically for RVs. So stay tuned as we get this installed. Okay, what you get in the box is obviously the big central vacuum system here with two sets of mounting flanges so you can mount it up, mount it down, however you want. It comes with HEPA filter bags. And this is the inlet. There's wires for the turning it on and off. And there's a plug to plug it in. It's a nice compact unit. It comes with all the necessary mounting hardware, that hoses that you plug onto this, and then this hose goes to this hookup. They'll stick the hose in. So it has all the necessary hardware. It does give you the instructions, nice instruction manual, and it comes with a 30-foot hose that shrinks down to 7 feet long, but then greatly expands when you want it to. So it can reach all over your RV from a single port. It comes with a nice extendable rod, crevice tool, brush, upholstery tool, and a floor tool that can be used on floor or carpet. So everything's here. It's ready to install. All we need to do is go in the camper and find a good spot for it. Okay, the first thing I want to do before installing this in the RV is to add this extension lead they give you to this, because it's pretty small and getting in under the cabinet would be hard. So I'm just going to strip a little extra off. There we go. That's just to hold it together. Well, it's going down the road, nothing comes loose. Perfect. Okay, to hold this mounting plate in, I'm going to use a couple of pocket screws. Nothing fancy. Just going to put a couple in each end. Okay, in order to mount the vacuum, the Dirt Devil, under this cabinet, hanging to not take up any space, I want to put it like right here. Problem is, this is 1/8 inch plywood, and this is way too heavy to mount from an 1/8 inch plywood. So what I'm going to do, take the piece of plywood I made, I'm going to put it right in here. It's a nice snug fit. Glue it in with the pocket screws. Let it dry, and then I'll mount right to this. And this will make a nice strong mount. There we go. Perfect. That's a nice solid mount. Nice and tight. That ain't going nowhere. Okay, the way this is going to work is from the mounting flange to this flange, I need 8 inches. So I cut this piece, it screws in all the way, and this end screws in. You can see it going in. All right. And then this on there, all the way. This should be 8 inches. There we have 8 inches, perfect. So now the vacuum has no losses. It's all straight tube, which is perfect. Let's go put this in. Okay, I've decided this is exactly opposite the inlet port to the vacuum. So this is where I want to put this, so I have the shortest possible run of the hose. We just go straight in. There's nothing back there. Nothing at all. So I can just go straight in. There we go. Straight through. And this should fit right in there. There we go. Perfect. Okay, we got our 8-inch piece. It's so that the intake from the vacuum will go straight in. No curves or bends, or the shortest possible loop. So this has got to go this way. And then this has to get on this. There we go. Perfect. Before we mount this valve, we have to put on these wires, because these are what make the vacuum turn on, is when this is opened. So you need to push these in. They're in there. Okay. And then you put this in. There. That looks perfect. To power up this vacuum cleaner is not just a simple thing. You can just plug it in and the central vac will work in the camper. However, then it would only work if you have campground power. I want it to work all the time when I'm either in a campground or if I'm boondocking. So what I've decided to do is allow the vacuum to run off of either the 110 power or from a campground line voltage, or 110 power off of my inverter. The way I'm going to do that is with this changeover switch you see here. As you can see, there's 2 different settings. One, and that'll be line voltage, 0, nothing, and 2 is from the inverter. So what I had to do is come up with this wiring diagram, as you see here. One side will be powered, position 1 will be line voltage 110, and position 2 will be the inverter 110. And I just got a metal box, you see here, and mounted this switch to a cover plate, and I used a 14 gauge 25-foot extension cord, and I cut it so that I'd have an end like this, a plug, because when I install things in the camper, if it's a replaceable item or an electrical item that you plug in, I always like to have a plug. So this vacuum, if for whatever reason someday it had a problem, I wanted to replace it, I could just unplug it and put a new one in and plug it back in. I'm not actually hardwiring it. So I use the end of the extension cord and the plug, and this is all set to put together. Now we just got to go mount this in the camper. So let's go do that. We're in the camper, and my plan is to take this box and mount it right here inside this door opening, and then it'll be easy to reach and get to whenever I need to. There we go. That's perfect. It's out of the way. It's not going to get bumped by anything. You can just select whether you use an inverter power or regular line voltage. Okay, to power the vacuum, in the island here, very conveniently, I had put the inverter switch to turn it on and off, and it powers this outlet. So I'm going to tap into the back for the vacuum, into this for the inverter power, and then right here is regular 110 power. So this is where I'm going to tap in also from the inside for the vacuum. So this will be the line voltage, inverter voltage. Okay, there's my two wires, one for the inverter power, one for the line voltage. So I just got to hook them up and we're ready to do a test. Okay, here's a final look at the final install. As you see, I have the Dirt Devil mounted to my solid piece of wood, plumbed over and through this island wall. And right here is my 3 position, 0, 1, and 2. 1 is line power. So right now if I open it's on 0. If I open the door here, nothing. If I put it on 1, the trailer's plugged into line power, so I open it. It works good on line power. Then, if I go over here, I have my inverter on, and same thing. So this will work on either line power or my inverter. And as you see inside of here, I did put in one of the HEPA filters. So it's easy to change, easy to get to. You just do it very easy. There's one more thing I want to show you on the outside of this island that I think is important, and it has to do with this vent back here. That is very important so that air can move properly. So let's go outside and take a look. Okay, one last thing I want to tell you about that you got to keep in mind when installing a central vac is what I call an air loop. Where the air goes into the vacuum and where it comes out, and they have to come back together. That's why I put it in this island. If this island was completely enclosed, this vacuum wouldn't work right. Because when I open this, you see air goes into the vacuum, exits the vacuum, comes through this vent. It's my fresh air return vent for the furnace that goes in, that I showed you from the inside, and the air comes back out and does a loop. So I'm not trying to pull air from outside the camper. If this vacuum was in an outside compartment and there was no link, it would be trying to pull air from everywhere in the camper. But now air goes in here, comes out here, goes back in. So it's a nice loop, and you can tell how it's working by that. A lot of air moving. So keep that in mind. This is another great project, and I can't wait to get it on the road and give it some real world testing. My wife will love it. And what's the last thing you do on a project? You clean up. So let's do it.